Hi friends, Allison here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have a mixed media layout to share with you. I just sort of dove right in and started with the hand stitching. I wanted to get the die cutting and the hand stitching done before everything else. I wanted the tag cut. It's a die cut that I made with my Cricut before I did the rest of the layout because I knew that I wanted to do some ink blending in the background. And I wanted to mark out where the tag would be on the base before doing the ink blending. So here, my original plan was just to use a white cardstock glued to toffee, or actually it's almond cardstock paper base. But yesterday I got my Paper Issues September Scrapbook Kit, and I shared a process video here, not a process video, but a haul video here on my channel yesterday. So if you missed that, scroll to the next video because you'll be able to catch that video there. But I was so excited about my kit, I couldn't resist using the stuff in it to create this layout, and they're actually perfect for this layout. And in my humble opinion, I think they were kind of made to go together. So I took one of the pattern papers out of the kit, the floral one. It's a Jen Hadfield paper from the Avenue collection, and I love it. And I also have, I'm showing you there, I also have the ephemera die cut pack as well from Jen Hadfield. And I pulled out two of the floral images from there to create this layout. So my original plan was to use die cut flowers. I have all of my layouts designed, quite honestly, a couple of weeks in advance because I love the designing aspect of creating as much as I do creating. If you had asked me that before I got my subscription to Cricut Access, I would have told you otherwise. Cricut Access has been a lifesaver for me, and now that I have it, I absolutely love all aspects of the creative process, including the designing. So all of my layouts are designed beforehand, and then I go back and scrapbook to catch up, if that makes sense. I forget where I was going with that now. So I will just get back to the matter at hand and show you what I'm doing. So, I was gonna use die cut flowers, but after I got this kit, I decided to use the die cuts from the Jen Hadfield kit instead, which I absolutely love and works perfectly. The colors in it actually kind of changed my color scheme just a tiny little bit. I had planned on using some red in this layout, but because there weren't really any reds in the collection, there were sort of like mustard yellows instead. I decided to switch the reds in my layout to the yellows. So the ink blending that I did in the background, which is underneath the tag, is actually in Close to My Heart saffron ink. And I just used a heart stencil that I've had in my stash for a while. I created it myself actually, so it's only a 6x6 square. Because the sheets of vellum that I got to create it are only like 8.5 by 11. So if I could do bigger, I would have loved that. I'd love like 12 by 12 stencils. But I didn't have that option, so just worked with what I had. I knew that I had the heart stencil in my stash, and so it was the first thing I pulled out when I sat down to create this layout. How many of you mat your photos on tissue paper? I have been converted just recently. I absolutely love it. I found perfect pristine tissue paper inside a box of mandarin oranges. They weren't wrecked, they weren't even hardly crinkled. So I pulled them out and kept them because I figured that I'd be able to use it somewhere in my crafting, and here it is. And I love it. I need to go and get some more tissue paper because how fun to add a little bit of something something behind your pictures. But it's barely there. It's just so pretty. And the sound of the crinkling of the tissue paper is so satisfying as well. So I decided as I was going, this wasn't part of my original plan, to ink the edges of all my paper, and I'm using Close to My Heart toffee ink to do that. So I did the pattern paper first, and that's where the inspiration came from. And then I realized, okay, well, if I'm going to ink the edges of that paper, I may as well do the rest of it as well. So I did my white cardstock, I did the almond cardstock in the background, and then I also did the tag as well. I could have gone even crazier and then inked the edges of the floral clusters, but my arm was tired by that point and I just decided not to do it. Quite honestly, I didn't actually think of doing it till just now, till I said it. So there you go. I did want to add some thread to my layout as well, so I pulled out some blue sewing thread and just tucked them in to a few different places behind the floral die cuts. I realized here as I was putting the foam squares on the backs of my die cuts, why do you guys have to watch the whole thing? So you see me do the first one and then I clue in as I'm doing the second one, like, duh, that's kind of boring. So I do cut it off there. Now it's adhered just to keep you from dying of boredom, basically. So there is my picture. This is a layout of Freddy Dog and his love for Olaf. He has some other toys around the house that he could play with if he wanted. He has a Pooh Bear. But the only toy he really loves to play with, he loves to hate is how I say it, is Olaf. And he has 3, maybe even 4 in our house. They are all different sizes. It doesn't matter what Olaf it is. He will play with his Olaf. He loves his Olaf. So I titled this layout True Love because it's for him, true love. He loves his Olaf and that's the only one that he wants to play with. So I die cut the word love from Close to My Heart saffron cardstock, and then I just used Close to My Heart Alpha stamp set, the modern typewriter stamp set, to stamp True Love. In my original design, I did have it, I did have it set to be die cut, but I figured the alphas would be too small, so I just decided to stamp it instead. And I really like the finished result. I think it looks perfect. I inked the edges of that little strip of paper as well. And then I knew that I wanted to add some chipboard, so I used a chipboard sticker from Pinkfresh Studio, and then I took some phrase stickers from a Tim Holtz sticker book that I have. I added the date, and with that, this layout is done. It was super quick to make, super simple. I absolutely love the florals from the Jen Hadfield collection, and I'm so looking forward to creating more layouts using it. One last final touch, I just added some yellow and white baker's twine to the top of the tag, and with that, my layout is done. Thank you so much for joining me today, you guys. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and a thumbs up, and leave a comment to let me know that you visited as well. I will see you guys again very soon. Close-ups are coming up. Bye, guys.